Hey guys, it's Dan with Philosophical Fishing. Thank you to everybody who's donated to this channel and who has signed up for my coaching. I love doing this. I love making these videos. I love philosophical fishing. I love talking about benzo and psychiatric drug recovery. I'm so happy to be doing this. So thank you guys all so much for participating and helping make this channel what it is. I just wanted to say that, get that out of the way. If you're new here, feel free to like and subscribe. And today, I was thinking about what a good topic would be, what a helpful topic would be for this video. And I'm still struggling to speak a little bit. I completely lost my voice for 3 days this past week where I almost couldn't get anything out above a whisper. So I'm glad that it's at least somewhat back. At least I feel like it's about 30 to 40% back right now. So I can talk for the purpose of this video. But I thought a good topic for this video would be to talk about the first things that you do after coming off of benzos and how hard it can be to re-experience life and to step back into reality and to experience everyday mundane things without the use of benzodiazepines. Because for me, it felt like I was just walking through the world naked, and I felt like I had no insulation between me and the world. Everything that was coming at me was just pins and needles. Everything hurt. I had no defense against just the raw emotional state of early benzo damage. And for a lot of us, life still comes at us. We still have responsibilities. A lot of us still have to work. We have other family members that we have to take care of. And we have responsibilities that we still at some level have to meet, And so walking through those things can be really, really hard, really, really scary early on. And I came off of benzos in September of 2015. And so, the first things that I walked through, aside from just coming out of the treatment center and getting reacquainted with my family again, was like, how do I drive again? How do I get behind the wheel of the car? Even picking up my cell phone and looking at my iPhone the first time was like, it felt crazy. Just, oh my God, like it's just lights and numbers and crap coming at me and colors. It was just, everything felt brand new again. It was like being a baby. I know I've talked about it on this channel before, and I've seen so many of you guys in the comments, like Bob Barbarino, I know has talked about, like, it feels like being a newborn again and learning to walk again, going through life. You're re-experiencing everything through the lens of somebody who's just come off of benzos, and everything feels raw and new again. At least that's the way it felt for me. Let me know, did it feel the same way for you guys? I mean, life was just, I had to learn how to do everything over again. I felt like I was a baby. And the first holiday that I went through was Thanksgiving. And that was scary. That was very scary for me because I was used to getting medicated before family holidays. Because you guys know how it is. You sit around with your family at Thanksgiving and, invariably there's somebody at the Thanksgiving table or who's visiting that holiday that you don't see eye to eye with on a lot of things. And it's just, there's a lot of tension. And things can get really awkward really quickly. And I don't know about you guys, but when I felt tension or awkwardness, I knew what to do. I knew to medicate that. I knew to go reaching for my Klonopin or my Xanax, or some alcohol or, whatever it was, opiates for me. And that would alleviate that tension and anxiety that I was feeling. So, now here I was a couple months off of everything, and I was going to this, family Thanksgiving, and I was really, really nervous. I mean, extremely nervous. I was only a couple months off, like I said, and I was still a raw nerve, and I was scared to go through it. I was really scared. And I remember just getting to my parents' house, and the first thing I saw was a couple of 12 packs of beer by the front door. And I really wanted one, but I really knew I couldn't have one because I'm an alcoholic. And if I put alcohol in my body, I know something bad is going to happen. Plus, I was so damaged by the benzos, I knew that alcohol wasn't good for that. So I knew I couldn't drink. I knew I was just going to have to power through it. Luckily, I had made a friend in recovery who I called that day, and I told him how uncomfortable I was. And, reaching out to somebody who gets it and who has been through what you've been through is really, really so helpful, because, in that moment that I called him while I was feeling so much discomfort at that Thanksgiving holiday, I stepped aside, I stepped outside and called him, and having that connection gave me so much comfort, and it steered me back to center where I needed to be, and I could take a deep breath and say, okay, it's going to be all right. This is going to be okay. I can do this. I can walk through this. I can experience this, as uncomfortable as it is. And I know I can get to the other side. I know that I can get past this. And as I did that more and more, going on my first job interview without Benzos, oh my God, so anxiety inducing. It was so hard. And going through, more and more holidays, Christmas and New Year's, and meeting people new for the first time, and having conversations with strangers, not being on Benzos, all of that was so new, and it was so hard. And I knew going through it, and I kept telling myself, everything that I do that I'm not on Benzos, every new experience is setting me up for greater and greater success. Everything that I'm doing is making me stronger and stronger. Every new experience that I go through without using Benzos and drugs, it's making me stronger and stronger. I'm getting fortified every time I do it. And I kept telling myself that every single time, every holiday, every new awkward, crazy, uncomfortable experience, I would just always tell myself, I am being renewed. I am getting stronger as a result of doing this. And I did. And I was. It was true. And so tell yourself that. If you've just come off of Benzos, or wherever you're at on your healing journey, when you're going through uncomfortable things, if you can just tell yourself that every time I go through this experience, I'm getting stronger and stronger. This is fortifying me every time I go through it to become a better whole human being. And it really helped me. And I was like the king of like awkward, in interactions with people and occurrences throughout my day all the time. And I just had to accept it. I had to accept that life was awkward, and there was nothing much I could really do about it except just to go through the experience and tell myself that this is part of it, and it's hopefully going to get better. And it has gotten so much better. I mean, I've always kind of been a little bit more of a nervous, kind of awkward person anyway. But I know that I've learned how to be comfortable in my own skin. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot for me. I'm somebody who only felt comfortable in my own skin if I was medicated. And I definitely, I can walk into a crowd of people, of strangers now, and strike up conversation very easily. If I'm out somewhere at a restaurant, I can strike up conversation with the waiter or waitress. I don't have a problem with that anymore. And it sounds trivial to a lot of people, I guess, but it's not for me today. It's not, because I remember when that was so hard. I remember when it was so painful to go to the grocery store and stand in the checkout line and feel like everybody was staring at me, and feel like, how am I even going to get through this awkward interaction with the cashier? What if she says something to me? I don't want to even be seen right now. I just want to be invisible, and I want to shrink into the floor and just like evaporate, because I felt so uncomfortable so much of the time. But it goes away. It goes away, and it gets better. It gets better. The just longer you experience going through uncomfortable things in benzo damage, and as your nervous system heals, and as it re-regulates, and as your body gets back to a place of homeostasis, and as you incorporate things like decent nutrition and exercise and relaxation techniques, meditation, spirituality, if that's your thing. Spirituality, I've talked about it so much on this channel, has been absolutely paramount in my recovery. And that's not something that I had before. So all these things that you do to incorporate into your healthy lifestyle, and walking through uncomfortable things and uncomfortable circumstances, these things are all going to get better and better and better as time goes on. And you'll see that, you know, the little things that you took for granted, like being able to walk into a grocery store and have an awkward interaction with somebody, when that goes away and you realize I can just now go to a diner and like order my food and have a regular interaction with the waiter and it's not so awkward anymore, you know, you start to realize like, holy crap, I've come a long way. And I'm really, really grateful for the little things, because the little things are not little anymore. The little things in my life are really, really big. I mean, today it was 77 degrees outside and sunny. It was beautiful here. There was a cool breeze and I just sat in the sun and I played with my son, who's 3 years old, and just watched him run around the backyard like crazy. And I could keep up with him. I had energy. I was grateful for the sunshine. I was grateful for the beautiful day. I was grateful that I'm not worried about getting my next medication refill and where that's going to come from and how am I going to get that, and oh my God, how many pills do I have left, and how am I ever going to get off these meds, and I'm miserable and depressed, and it's like, oh my God, I'm not worried about any of that today. I am not dependent on any medication, on any drug or alcohol or anything else. You know, benzos have not been part of my life for the last 7.5 years. And God willing, they'll never be part of my life again. You know, it's the going through benzo withdrawal has taught me so much gratitude for the seemingly little things that are not little anymore. I'm glad to put my head down on a pillow at night, knowing that I don't have to worry about my next prescription of benzodiazepines. And you know, as I always say, you know, it's not because I'm something special. You know, what I've experienced and the healing that I've experienced is there for everybody. And I just want you to know that. I want you all to have hope and to know that if you're still struggling and you're in the early stages or even the middle or late stages of benzo damage, there's more and more healing as you go along. So I love you guys. I love making these videos. Thank you again, everybody who's donated. Those of you who have signed up for coaching, I love doing it. I love talking to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this. And as I always say, as long as these videos are helpful, I'm going to keep making them. I love you guys.